Let's meditate. When you are young, very young, you learn a lot to be able to live in this world. So you capture everything around you without your knowing first, and then learn the language, the words, and the logic. And you keep that for a long, long, long time. So when you speak English, you may not forget so easily. But like my case, if I learn English later, it doesn't stick as much. So the period when you're young, I don't know exactly, but from 0 age to 5, 6, 8, 15, and so, your brain is very active to capture everything and organize itself for whatever reason, so that you develop a habit. You can call it some good, some not so good, but you don't know what's good and bad, so it's kind of too late. But the society will tell you what's appropriate and not. So you keep exploring the world, full of energy, this way and that way. Some may know what they want to do with their lives, others may not know, so explore. At old age, like I am, 76, going 77, it goes the other direction. You may not retain new information as much. And when I think about it, the reason for that, in my view, is that the energy has to be utilized to make myself alive, instead of capturing more. It automatically not spend time to capture, but to go inward as if to retain what is critical. Critical to live life, and like going inward as in the state of samadhi. More you have quiet time, you may access what's out or inside of you as memories, events, experiences, and to keep those which is important and let go which is not, so that you live life according to the importance, the needs to keep you alive, as well as perhaps to achieve what you think is important, like your mission. So what it may mean is that that may be the way of nature. And you may still keep the old habit, which you felt so important, and then from your mind you may hang on to it, what you believe in. Like old dog may not learn new trick, but behave what you know. So it's kind of like a too late. Maybe I shouldn't say it that way, but too late to acquire new habit, new information, even if it's important, because it may not stick as much as when you are young. I was reading Daisetsu, one of the book, and this is more about his essay. He was talking about first half of life is driven by some sort of energy, especially the sexual energy or interest, and that may drive you. But when you talk about, let's call it the spiritual stuff, the word spiritual is a little vague, but more about knowing behind those sexual energy or anything like that, more animalistic one, you start to say calm down. Some may not, but be ready to die. Maybe that's not the right expression, but to be matured, and instead of being influenced so much by sexual energy or anything of that nature, and the habitual pattern that was so strong that you practiced, you have more of a period to see things better. Some may not, but in general, that's the period of reflection and sorting things out, and be able to see perhaps better how you live. Some people may get into the phase earlier than others. Some are much later. And if you are too late, maybe nothing much can be done. I'm generalizing, it may not be right, but one point is, earlier you find the way to live sincerely and truthfully, and not to be just self-centered, but doing something good for the society surrounding, and be able to find a path so that your energy can be directed, not in a wild manner, but more of a calm and quiet mind to be at the base. to make the good judgment, then you may have, I might use the word happy life, to not get into the trap. It may not be easy, especially when the habitual pattern developed earlier. It's so strong. The bottom line of it that I see it's important is earlier you start to be able to see what's happening inside of you and have the way to balance out what's outside, external world, and becoming wise to choose the path, not just to swinging right and left. Especially when the information is so much to digest. So earlier we developed that skill in spite of those sexual needs or desire, which can be seen and hard to control, but be wise to have a way, even though you may enjoy all the crazy stuff, but still have something fundamental, because the time will come, if you're lucky to live long, that you can find peaceful life. And the energy directed in the direction that suits you and suits for the society. But if you don't have that sense and be swung by the external world and losing what's inside, how the energy is processed, that transition from the younger days to older days may not be as smooth in my imagination. So be ready earlier. Question the path you want to take. I see taking my YouTube video, what age group would look at my video, and I noticed that 50% or more is between age 18 to 34 or something like that. 50%. And I thought, oh, that's good. As you are older than 35, 45, 55, then you're not as fresh, maneuverable, but more of a habitual pattern driving you. And old age is difficult to learn new trick or new idea. So it's going to be more difficult. That's my imagination. So given what Daisetsu said about the orientation, sexual or animalistic sense, may slow down, some may not. You may have the transition from the younger years to older age to have a clear mind, not to be disturbed much from the physical drive to take over, and then have my expression of calm and quiet mind to see things well, to make a good judgment, connecting to your heart, where the drive of energy is coming, as well as the wisdom and compassion, the source of that, will be retained into your older age and help people and help yourself without getting into a much difficult state. It may be difficult to be wise at an early age, but prepare for that. More confirm what I call the source, the core of who you are, and how the energy can be processed. It may help you to live long, happy life. Nothing is guaranteed, but whatever you can prepare, you can do something about it. So tied to this meditation and samadhi, have more time, if you can, early on in your life, may help establish a good habit to make a good judgment. If you can make better judgment, 3%, 2%, compound it every year, you can make a big difference. Because it's the direction, how we use your energy and have good imagination, vision, and be ready. Keep working on it with the help from what's inside of you, your heart. So if you start to find a way to listen to your heart, which is like knowing what's in unconscious, and you have the relationship or connection, not just living in your mind, you might live a long, happy life, helping people and helping yourself. Well, I talked a lot. Have a good day and good life. May all beings be happy.